Plus the Speakers. I'm Kush,
And Alex.
and today we're going to be reviewing Climate Change by Pitbull. I can't believe
Oh, that's a legitimate album title from a legitimate artist, Kush. Go on.
I can't believe I made myself sit down and listen to a full Pitbull album.
Yeah, I never pictured I'd be doing that ever.
Honestly, this is just an album full of singles. There's no substance really. Everything is just like supposed to be like a party banger, even though they're really not. They're kind of lackluster for that. There's no substance. There's no context. There's nothing worthwhile being talked about. And it's Pitbull. What did you expect? Did you expect him to make? Did you expect him to make a good album?
Here's the thing: if you look at his old album titles, I mean, we thought Climate Change maybe it'd be a politically driven album, but his other album titles are like called Globalization and Global Warming. So it's just a buzzword album title to like draw people in, and make it sound as if he's got something to say, when he really doesn't, does he? I mean,
No,
there's no precedent for this to be a good album.
Well, so
He's basically a corny, low-grade rapper type guy who gets other people to sing his songs because he can't.
yeah, as a feature on every song.
He's not a
minus one.
producer, so he can't even. He's not even like Calvin Harris, who is a decent producer, and I don't even mind his vocals on some earlier stuff, especially. But he's a producer, he makes other people work within his songs. Pitbull is just a guy who gets other artists, sings at least 2/3 of the songs on most of these. He's like a host, basically, showcasing different artists.
He's a very
Do
DJ
you know what I
Khaled, DJ Khaled kind of guy.
At least I like DJ Khaled, though. Here's the thing: I don't hate Pitbull as a guy. He really intrigues me because I don't know. There's something really weird and unique about him. Just the way he portrays himself, like he's the Tommy Wiseau or Neil Breen of music. I'd say getting to that. Do you know what I mean? He's getting to that realm of things.
He's just so bad that it's funny.
Yeah, but sometimes it's so bad that it's funny that it's annoying. So that's a weird combination.
So let's just. I'm gonna start off because I was really in one of our earlier reviews or discussions or something. I said that we hope that Pitbull makes a politically aware album where he's talking about politics, because I don't care what he believes. I just think it'd be funny to listen to him talk about politics for 12 songs. But this first song starts off and they use that line, "Love is a battlefield."
Yeah.
That is the most overused line in music, I would say.
Well, it's not as overused as Prettiest Girl in the World, but it's up there.
Yeah, because it's just every love song has it and say love is a battlefield and this and that, and fine, it might be true, sure, but you don't have to keep saying it. Anyways, he picks up some EDM artists, some really generic SoundCloud EDM artist.
Kai's made the song Hideaway, which is, I personally think, remember, I'm more pop inclined, I guess, to like this type of stuff, but that's besides the point in this case, because Kaiza is okay, or however you say her name, it's a bit weird. She's okay, but it's a Pitbull album, it's not a Kaiza album. What does he add to the table?
Nothing. Honestly, I think he has some of the most memorable ad-libs for a rapper today.
In some cases.
Well, he's similar to Designer, in which when you hear the ad-lib, you know who's going to be singing. But it doesn't mean that it's good. It's just there. There's no continuity in any of the songs. There's no continuity on the album itself. It's just him talking about random shit. But within each song, he just goes from topic to topic, because he actually talks about politics for 2 lines on the first song, "We Are Strong." For maybe
but you wouldn't know
lines.
because it's just vapid in the middle of it, and there's nothing added to words that happily. Can you see that?
It's out of nowhere. He never foreshadows it, never refers back to it, so it's just kind of there. But honestly, that song was probably the most meh song on this album. The best song, meh. Okay.
Well, as in, it's not terrible or bad. I agree.
It's bad. It's bad, but in the context of the album, it's probably just the average, and it really just laid out what this album's gonna be like.
It's like a blueprint, I guess. And it is really, it's a blueprint because on every song on here, he basically, it's like, yeah, it's your boy, Pitbull, and then introduces the artist who basically saves or tries to save the song. On every
yeah,
song, he just hosts.
I think the best song on here is the next song, Bad Man.
Oh, I hate, well, I don't hate it, but man, I do not think this is good.
I think it's the best because it's the one where Pitbull is in the least because they have like three featured artists.
I know, but this is a weird amalgamation of contemporary R&B, whatever type of rap you'd call Pitbull, you know, trashy, low-grade pop rap, classic rock from Joe Perry, you know, from Aerosmith, the guitarist, and then they get like the drummer from Blink-182, so that's pop punk as well. How do these genres work together? I don't think they really do. But then they like blur together in blurred lines, like Robin Thicke himself once said. So I don't know.
I thought it was an okay at best. It wasn't impressive. It wasn't like, I'm not gonna listen to it again ever. But
Yeah.
in the context of the album, I was looking back and I'm like, wow, Bad Man wasn't such a bad song after all. After listening to some of these other songs.
Well, Travis Barker is a good drummer. I really like him on here. He's really good. He sounds busy the whole time. Joe Perry does put in a good performance, but who cares about Robin Thicke?
Oh, he's forgettable.
That's the thing with this art anymore. Like, you know, the Fate of the Furious soundtrack. That
Yeah.
has a lot of like really, really relevant artists. Like, I'm pretty sure he has Migos, you know, Little Yachty. I'm pretty sure, and he has a load of relevant artists today on that soundtrack. Say what you will about Fast and the Furious soundtracks. I know people don't like See You Again, but that is relevant today. All of the artists on here, aside from one or two, are like out of date severely to me.
Flo Rida, Jason
So
Derulo.
Not even them, but like Lunch Money Lewis, One Hit Wonder from years ago. Robin Thicke on this song is like one of the worst things I've ever heard. The ooh-ahs are very annoying. If I wanted to get like bland contemporary R&B, I'll go for people like John Legend who are actually talented, even if they're a bit boring. Also, did they choose him because of the correlation between You're a Good Girl from Blurred Lines and now he's saying he's a bad man?
Who knows?
Whatever.
Pitbull's thinking hard.
Pitbull's okay on this song compared to Robin, I'd say.
The worst. There's two songs that stand out as the worst for me. Which one was it? I think it was the first song was obviously Messing Around.
Oh, just thinking about that song just makes my body seize up in fear.
It reminded me of a Jacob Sartorius song a little bit. Something he would have made.
Oh, yeah. I wrote that. The Bop reminds me so much of Hit or Miss on that EP. In that it's an instrumental bop that no need to be there, doesn't even move the song along. Like, there's no instrumental progression. An instrumental version of this would be utter shite, basically. The vocals are the only thing that like sounds like a song, but the vocals are bad. So
the vocals are awful. The vocals are disgusting in this song.
You know what the really funny bit about this is? At the end, he's like, "Haha, Enrique, let's break it down right quick." It's funny because he's acted as if he and Enrique Iglesias are pros at making this type of song, and he's like saying it as if he's bragging about it. But man, there's nothing to be proud of here.
Yeah, that was a bad song. Also, I noticed at the very end he screams chimichanga.
Oh, I don't even know.
What in what context would that make any sense on any song? Not just this one. Any song would screaming chimichanga make any sense?
Well, Pitbull, he doesn't need to make sense. He's a great guy who he lives. I swear he lives in his own fantasy world, just like the two deluded movie directors we mentioned. He's like the music version of earlier. I swear he's living in a fantasy land sometimes.
One overarching thing I want to talk about is how overly sexual every song is.
Yeah.
The song Options with Stephen Marley, or Stephen Marley, or whatever.
Yeah, Stephen.
Stephen Marley is okay at best, but he sounds washed up and boring as well.
Yeah.
This line he says, where he goes, Pitbull says, he goes, they want some perfect, and then stops for about a second and goes, dick. Like, this.
I forgot about that.
This man
Locked it from my memory.
This man is nearing 40 years old, and he's talking to like 19 or 20-year-old girls. It's just so odd. I don't get it. Like, there's not one world in one universe I could see where a girl would be attracted to a man singing this kind of music. Like,
It'd all be about the money, and that's all Pitbull seems to care about. He cares about like the fame, the flashing lights, cars, girls. He just cares about the fame aspect more than anything else, which is like nothing nobody admits. Like even people who get into music or films for fame or anything, or just try and get fame, they never admit it for fame. But Pitbull, he like revels in it. He loves it.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, the song's very bad.
Options,
it's like a weird ballad type thing.
He also has
Stephen Marley. I mean, if you're gonna get one of Bob Marley's kids, at least make it like a reggae song.
For sure. There's also one line on there where he goes, "You JFK," and that's it. He doesn't have any context. He has no context of what that means. Like, he says, "You're JFK," and then just goes talking about some other random shit, probably about like sucking dick or some shit. I don't know.
What does that mean? No, does it mean we're an assassinated world leader? What does it mean?
Alex, you're asking the wrong. Let's get Pitbull on here. Let's contact Pitbull and ask him to explain these lyrics.
Honestly, I would love to have Pitbull on here just because whenever there's dead air or silence or we don't know what to say, he'll just say, "What up, man? I like this song, man." I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind just having a chat with him, interview.
Because he seems like a perfectly fine guy. He seems like he's an interesting guy for sure. I don't know much about him, obviously, but like, it's a fun song. Well, he makes fun music, which can be danceable, but like when you go into it and think about it, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Freedom is not danceable. It's a acoustic dirge. Here's the thing, Stephen. I'm slightly aware of him because I'm a big reggae fan. So I don't know why I did this, but I checked through each of Bob Marley's children's like music, and obviously Damon Marley's the best one, and Ziggy Marley's okay. Stephen, he was okay. He's not too bad, but obviously he's not interesting enough on his own. Like, no one would know him if he wasn't Bob Marley's son, basically.
Yeah, that's
I don't
fair.
get it. And also, do you notice he says options? Like, I don't even know what the meaning of this is. So having various identities to come across to people makes you have options.
No,
what does this mean? Is he like a fake ID user or something? I don't know. Anyway, my absolute one of the worst songs I've heard ever. Okay, so this is a doozy. Sexy Body. And it's not because it's overtly explicit. Here's why. I can't believe this. What the fuck is he doing? In case you don't know, Kush, there's a song out there by Zara Larsson. Have you heard of her?
Yes.
Called I Would Like, which has the exact same chorus as this that Jennifer Lopez sings on here. I don't even like that song. I think it's featured on one of my worst songs of 2016 lists. But this is literally lifting the exact same chorus, note for note, not even sampling it, getting someone else to sing it. Why Jennifer Lopez? Does he think like the song sounds any better because the woman who's singing it he thinks has the sexiest body? But it's literally stealing the song, not changing anything. And here's the thing, I checked the writing credits because I was thinking there must be some like permission to do this. There's no way Pitbull can get away with stealing another song's chorus. But I checked, and weirdly, there's like 9 writers on I Would Like by Zara Larsson. He credits 2 writers. What's he doing? Why does he think crediting 2 writers out of 9 is going to get him out of a lawsuit? Because that's what this song will become for him. I don't even mind J Lo on this. She sings pretty decently.
But she doesn't add anything to it.
No, but it's the principle of theft that I don't agree with, and I'm sure as a law-abiding citizen, we all don't agree with that. The principle of theft.
Yeah.
Zara Larsson is a 18 or 19-year-old pop star who's just making it out in the scene, and Pitbull is a veteran, like dodgy guy. That needed to be said 3 times because it's really true. Stealing verboten a chorus. I can't express it enough. This offends me. The principle of this. I don't know if you were aware of this, Kush, but man, forget any aspect of the performance. Just the idea of this. I hate it.
Yeah, that song was pretty bad. Well, I didn't realize the theft thing, but now thinking about it, I could see why it's a terrible thing, and I agree that it's awful. This song just turned me off because it's overly sexual. Like,
Yeah,
it's so gross. It's just so like we talked about Charlie XCX, and she had Cupcake on there, and Cupcake had those disgusting lines. But there's something about that just a juxtaposition where Charlie XCX had this innocent, like, lighthearted sort of voice, and Cupcake's just aggressive, dirty rapping, and it was fun to listen to. This is just kind of gross having this old ass man telling you, yeah, I'm gonna take your clothes off, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. And I'm like, come on, man, dude, you're just so old. You're balding. Come on, you can't do this.
He's not even that old, but he sounds it.
He
Justin Timberlake is older than him, I'm pretty sure, by like, actually I don't know, but around the same age, and he can get away with this because he's a good-looking guy. You know, he looks younger for his age, basically. You know, he could be mid-20s still. But Pitbull, man, he's a dumpy star if I've ever seen one. The song Freedom. Sorry.
I never saw the appeal of to Pitbull. I never liked him, even when I was younger and I listened to pop music, radio pop music a lot more. I never liked Pitbull. I always thought he was kind of a wash-up, kind of just like a catch-all who always banked on his features. The problem is that the features in this album are not relevant whatsoever.
Well, at least he had like Kesha on Timber, like that was pretty good, like for him. And but you wouldn't know that was a Pitbull song. It's like a Kesha song, basically.
Yeah. If you want to talk about another song with a really unused feature, "Better on Me" with Ty Dolla $ign. Now,
this is one of the better songs on here for me.
It is. I think Ty Dolla $ign saves that song.
I like Ty Dolla $ign.
I do. I think he has a great voice. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of his actual individual music, but I think he has a good voice when implemented properly. He was first brought to my attention, like how great of a singer he is. I don't know. Chance the Rapper did a thing on SNL with his song "Blessings," Blessings reprise, and Ty Dolla $ign is one of the backup singers. And Christ, is he a good singer? But on this one, even he sounds like he doesn't want to be there, but I bet Pitbull give him this big old check, and he's like, "Here, sing for me."
That's the only way he can get these people. I'm serious. That's the only way. There's not people who are thinking, I owe my future and life to Pitbull. I'm gonna definitely do a feature for him. Like, there's no one thinking, I've really made it. I'm on a Pitbull song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And also on that song, Pitbull says, "I'm living in the future, you living in the past." But it's him who's digging up old forgotten artists like Robin Thicke, Lunch Money Lewis, and Leona Lewis. It doesn't make sense. And also, if we're going to talk about Lunch Money Lewis, I think Green Light is probably the best song on here. Even though I don't like any of the rappers on it, for some reason it's like double negatives, they all work somehow together.
Yeah, it's just another boring party song to me, forgettable.
Yeah, kind of. But I thought it was like a weird C-grade lineup of celebrities. Maybe even Flo Rida couldn't ruin this, but it's kind of funky. I don't know. I'm liking it in spite of myself, definitely. Like, I would never openly admit that. But
I think it's probably just the shiniest turd.
And talking about the worst song on here, one of them, Freedom, is the one song that doesn't have a feature.
And it's awful.
And how does Pitbull do on it? Basically, compensate for this, he basically takes "I'm Free" by the Rolling Stones as a replacement featured artist. And the weird thing about this is, it sounds like specifically made that could be used in like a car advertisement for television. I could picture a nice matte finish white Audi car getting advertised with this in the background.
No, it's
I'm
because
serious. It's exact same.
That's exactly what I thought of.
You know what I mean? It's like the same exact instrumental fin that is used in a lot of those sleek. Obviously, those advertisements are looking for like sleek, technologically based music to enhance the look of their cars that they're advertising. But Pitbull, I mean, and also just the sample. He's saying I'm free to do whatever I want and have a good time. And then he like mentions a load of countries at the end, New Zealand, Japan. He's not mentioning countries that are like second or third world where they're not free, like some Middle Eastern or countries or North Korea. He's not mentioning those countries where they're not free and they can't have a good time, is he?
Nope.
He's bad stuff. It's bad stuff, man.
One thing that annoyed me about the album is that he has these weird vocal effects that make him sound like he just did a lot of crack or something like that.
He probably is. He probably is anyway, though.
It was just the chorus on the song was just overly horrendous to me. No, so talking about features that save a song, Ty Dolla $ign is one, but I think Jason Derulo saved "Educate Ya." Even though it's a bad song, but I think Jason Derulo's part is the only part one of the few redeemable things in this whole album.
The weird thing about Jason Derulo is I don't mind him that much. Like his first three singles, you think of him?
I never really hated him or anything. I just never had a strong opinion. I think he's a decent singer. His content of what he was singing about was kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
He hasn't made a song that's lasting.
Looking back in retrospect on his first three singles, which is In My Head, What You Say, and Riding Solo, I think they're decent pop songs, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I never hated them, but they were never something that stood out to me.
Here's the thing, this song's like Educate Ya, which means educate a woman with love. Another explicit, obviously a lot more explicit than the chorus is making it out to be. But it's nothing new for Jason. In his song, In My Head, he says, I'll be the teacher, show you the ropes. He's got like a weird teacher complex when it comes to love, Jason Derulo, so it seems. Like he wants to be a dominating teacher type of guy. I don't know, seems a bit weird to me.
Yeah, it was odd. It was an odd album. Then the last four songs...
The last three, forgettable to me.
The last four songs were just 3 or 4 songs, whatever. They're just nothing. There's no point to them whatsoever.
I know. Leona Lewis is on Only Ones to Know. And this is the weirdest featured artist choice. Have you even heard of her?
No, I have never heard of her.
She won the X Factor in 2007, over 9 years ago, in the UK. And she released a sort of decent Beyonce ripoff with Bleeding Love and then died out soon after. So getting her on here is just really weird. And this isn't even like a ballad. It's a weird dance pop song. I don't know what he was doing. I really think this is the only time where one of the artists actually asked Pitbull to be on, because I don't know anything about Leona Lewis, what she did after winning the X Factor. But this is a weird choice, man.
Yeah, there's one last thing I want to talk about is, well, 2 things. Every EDM beat on here is super generic and sounds like something he took off of SoundCloud.
Just sound like that.
The beats weren't anything impressive, but also the song Can't Have. He tries to be philosophical in that song and says, he goes, the grass is always greener on the other side until you get there. And I just cracked up laughing. I'm like, really? You thought this was a good lyric that it would inspire someone? Like, really? Pitbull, he's trying so hard. I'm gonna give him that. He's trying.
Yeah, he is trying on that song at least. And he has another decent line where he's talking about how he owns all the houses on the block, which is the estate agent, because I don't think I'd buy all the houses on one block. But anyway, and this is like not bad for some immigrants. Okay, well, he was born in Miami, so maybe his family are like Cuban immigrants, but he himself is not an immigrant if he's born in the US. changed now because of what an immigrant is classified by Donald Trump. I mean, if he said something like that to make it politically themed, and he might have, because all his rapping blends together, but I wouldn't know. That'd be better, because he'd say it in a humorous, deluded way. I'd find that funny.
Yeah. What would you rate it, Alex? Let's get to that point.
Okay, right. And also, let's R. Kelly on it because boring and forgettable way. Yeah. So, the thing we didn't talk about is Pitbull rapping is like so bad it's good though. Like whenever he's rapping, I'm like, this is pretty funny actually. Like just hearing him, he's so serious about what he's rapping about too, like, all the time. He has no false pretenses that the music he's making is bad. He thinks this is really good. So he must secretly know he's not very good, because otherwise he's just the most deluded artist in music. So this is squarely a pop album with very diminishing results. He sometimes gets a fluke good song like Better On Me or Green Light. I think those are the only two decent songs. Let's be real though, this is not enjoyable. And I'm a pop fan, I must say. Like I went into this thinking maybe, you know, my view in pop music would enable me to find some appreciation of this and generic EDM, overtly explicit. And even in the case of Sexy Body, a complete just stolen chorus. I mean, so my rating is going to be 3.5, which might seem a bit high, but
that's high.
Honestly though, I did think the fact that he was so entertaining and the amount of times he made me laugh with some of the stuff he was saying has to contribute somehow. Like I appreciate his funny. It's almost like comedy rap at some points. So just because the fact he's like so bad it's good, and I liked a few features, I'm gonna give it 3.5.
For me, this album was full of just junk. It was just a piece of trash. Put it in the recycling bin.
Why recycling bin? Just so it could be something better.
Just so we can get the Ty Dolla $ign vocals back.
Yeah.
You can junk this album. I wouldn't care. This was probably the thing. Like I understand he can be funny, but I think I laughed at it because I was just amused that a grown man wrote this lyric and thought this was a good idea to put into an album.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe it's all the cocaine in his head, but like I think it's just. What an album! This was a ride from start to finish.
I was dreading listening to this.
I was too.
I did not expect anything good.
But you know, there were some okay parts. Jason Derulo and Ty Dolla $ign are the only ones I can really think of.
Well, you know, Joe Perry and Travis Barker on guitar and drums were okay on Bad Man.
Yes. But everything else was just so off-putting, just so overly sexual, and it kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
But in the end, I'm gonna give him a 2 out of 10 just for being Pitbull.
Oh.
He's just.
Well, we did not fans of this album.
No. Yeah, I mean, I want to say I'm excited to see what he makes next, but I'm not. I really am not.
I really don't know if I'll cover him again. I mean, this is like... It's not like Jacob Sartorius or even Train, where I'm like, I would be kind of interested to see where they go next. I'm imagining the last 5 Pitbull albums are very similar to this. If we hear another one, it's not going to be any different from this I'm picturing. There's going to be no progression of sound. The only progression of sound might be if EDM dies out and some other genre comes in, he'll adopt his instrumentals to sound more like that. But that's it.
He just needs to like find some. He needs to find a lady so he stops talking about all the sexual stuff. Because I need a shower after listening to this. I just need to just cleanse myself. Oh god.
Definitely.
But yeah, 2 out of 10. That's me.
2 out of 10. That's one of the worst scores anyone's given on this show.
I couldn't stand this album. I couldn't.
I think anyone can.
And
actually, well, my score signifies that I could almost stand it, but honestly, I really can't, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to re-listen to these songs, really.
No, you shouldn't. You should never be listening to this.
But he doesn't even get a good feature like Neo on Give Me Everything. That was a pretty decent feature.
Oh, I forgot that song existed.
That is a Pitbull song, but you wouldn't know it's him.
No,
It's
I
very
thought...
understandable to... Oh, did you forget about that one?
No, I knew. I remember, like, I knew the song, but I forgot Pitbull was on that song.
I know, it's understandable to not know these songs are by him, because he has no presence of himself.
I mean, he has ad-libs, no one can replicate that either, because it's just him.
Yeah. That's the thing. Really is like the Tommy Wiseau, Neil Breen of, I don't know, music, I guess.
Yeah.
Except not as funny as them.
Just more painful. Well, I mean, that's it from us. You heard what we thought about Pitbull's new album, Climate Change.
I'd like to imagine that there's some hardcore Pitbull fans listening to this.
Are there Pitbull
So
fans?
there can't be any... If I encounter a Pitbull fan who could defend that blatant theft of I Would Like onto Sexy Body, no, it's going to get heated, man. I mean, that is just undefendable.
Here we go. $15 to whoever can convince Adam that it wasn't, or Adam, Alex, that it wasn't theft.
Honest, well, they're just going to lose their money because it is theft. It is.
So here's the thing. If you can convince Alex that it was not theft, I will send you $15 through PayPal.
Okay, well, it's no skin off my nose, but you would really have to convince me. Here's the thing, though, they could. Because...
The only reason I'm giving the $15 is because I know no one's able to convince you, because that is blatant theft, especially because he only credited 2... Because he admits that he took it from someone, because he credits 2 out of the 9 writers, but he stole it because he didn't credit the other 7.
The only way I could think of it is if the 2 writers were maybe working on that and Zara Larsson at the same time. That's the only way. But those 2 writers, there should be some code of ethics to not just, oh, Zara Larsson, she's not going to get big. Oh, it was either that or Pitbull needs a chorus, just give him this. That's the only way this is a reasonable way that was made.
Yeah, it was.
Because honestly, when I heard that, I could not believe it. That's the thing. It sounds like I'm making a bigger deal of this than I did, but when I heard that, I could not believe it. It's the first time I was actually like flabbergasted by something I was listening to.
Yeah.
So
what are you
if you want to be flabbergasted as well, go ahead and try climate change.
Well, if that's it, then thanks for tuning in to Busted Speakers. You heard what we thought about climate change, so make sure you let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and check us out on social media.